Hey everyone, so this is a 2022 Tesla Model X refresh. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you've seen this vehicle a few times in some smaller videos. Now that we have about 400 miles on the vehicle, I wanted to share some of my initial thoughts and kind of the things that I like, some of the challenges, and hopefully it'll help you decide whether this vehicle is right for you or maybe whether another vehicle is a better fit for your use and for your family. This car was in the shop for full front PPF, so there's XPEL PPF on the hood, the front fenders, the whole front bumper cover, the headlights, signal lights. They put some PPF here on the lower rockers, and there's a little bit of PPF on the rear bumper cover as well. The car is also fully ceramic coated. I think they put some PPF as well on the tail lights. Really like the way it came out. In terms of the wheels, we have the standard 20-inch slipstream wheels that come with the car. We didn't upgrade the rims. Also have some PPF on the door handles, on mirror caps. Just press on the handle and the door just opens. And so I can step into the vehicle. Here's one of my favorite features of the car. So I could reach over and close this door manually, but why do that when I can just press the brake pedal and the door closes automatically? That's so cool. So as I mentioned, this is the Tesla Model X long range version. It's not the Plaid. 670 horsepower, 20-inch slipstream wheels, estimated range of 348 miles, 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles per hour, a slippery coefficient of drag of 0.24, weighs about 5,185 pounds. It's a dual motor setup. That out of the way, I think one of the more striking parts of this vehicle is really the steering wheel. So there's a lot of things to get used to, even if you've driven a Tesla for a long time without the yoke. If you wanted to turn on the turn signals, it would be on this side of the steering wheel. That's the left indicator shows on the front display. Right, you can do high beams from here. Here's the horn. If you wanted to enable autopilot, you can do that by single pressing the right scroll wheel, cleaning the windshield using windshield washer fluid using this button, and if you need to do voice commands for navigation or other purposes, you can just press this. And if you are coming from a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, this screen seems familiar, and it actually operates very similar to those two vehicles, but this display here is the difference. And you'll find your speedometer here, you'll find obviously the turn signals, you'll find autopilot and full self-driving visualizations if you have them enabled. This vehicle, along with the refreshed Model S, has a different way of shifting gears. So if you want to move the vehicle forward, you just take the animated vehicle and you slide it forward, and now the vehicle is ready to go. If you need to go in reverse, well, first let's go into park. To park, you just, with the brake pedal depressed, you press and hold the P and the car parks. If you want to go in reverse, slide it backwards and your reverse camera engages. So let's put it back into park. To control the doors, there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can do it from each of the doors. There is a button on the driver and the passenger side doors, but as a driver, if you wanted to open the other doors, you can do it directly from the screen. So this button here opens the Falcon wing door on the driver's side. This one does Falcon wing door on that side. Is that. And so now the vehicle with all the doors open. But if we, let's say, are unloading several passengers at once and we just want to close all the doors, we can just hit close all. and all the doors close simultaneously. Really convenient feature to have if you're trying to just close everything quickly. You can also open the trunk from the control screen. So there we go. If you want to close the trunk, it's also one touch. The animation syncs with the actual motion, so you know where the door is in the closing process. Right, so going to the center console, you'll notice that the vehicle has the wood trim here in the center console, as well as wrapping around the sides of the doors, as well as below the front display. And this is a pretty clear indicator that this is not the plaid version of the Model X. If this was plaid, you'd see carbon fiber here instead of the wood grain. So 2 wireless chargers. You have a hazard light button here. Center console, you slide this up, you have a little compartment right here and a cup holder, but you can go even deeper than that. If you slide this back, you see a deeper cavity where you can store additional items in here. And you can also slide this back for more access. There's a 12-volt charger at the very bottom of the compartment, and then 2 USB-C outlets right here. And in order to cover this spot again, you just one touch slide, and there you go. It's all covered up again. This also has a compartment under the center armrest for more storage space. So quite a bit of storage, especially for someone like me who came from a Tesla Model 3. Just the amount of space here is just enormous compared to the Model 3. You even have some side pockets here. Now these seats are comfortable. The headrests are actually reminiscent of the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. These are perforated and ventilated, so at least in the front row. So in order to open the rear doors, it's one touch here. Falcon wing door articulates up. Since there's no obstructions here, that's the full opening. This door can open in much tighter situations, like in a parking structure with another vehicle parked right next to you. If you have a young child, having these fully articulating doors just makes things so much easier. If you have like an infant seat or a toddler seat, it's just so nice to be able to just place your child in the car seat without having anything obstructing your access, like a roof in most vehicles. So let's go step around to the other side. So again, to open the door, one touch, door fully articulates up. Another thing that's different from the Model 3, Model Y, as well as the older Model X and S, is the center display. In the center display, you can control the HVAC system, you control the heating of the rear seats, including the third row. You can control music, and so if you change the track here or change the volume, it will also change it up front. And you can also change the entertainment. You can view the same types of streaming services that you can view on the front of the vehicle back here. And you can change where the vents are pointed. So I'm not sure if this comes out, but there's kind of an invisible effect for the vents. They actually come out of this little slot right here, but it's really hard to tell if you're seated here where it's coming from. So there's also USB-C ports here, charging, and a cup holder right there. I've done a deeper dive in the space of the second and third rows in another video, but just to reiterate, this is a 60-40 folding second row for the 7-seater. In order to access the third row, you can fold down either one or both of the sections in the second row to access the third row. In the third row, you have cup holders as well as 2 USB-C charging ports. This third row does not have latch anchors, so if you were to put car seats or booster seats back here, you'd have to make do without latch anchors. So in terms of the rear seats, it's pretty simple to fold these seats down. You basically just depress the button here on the side for your electromechanical release, and you're able to just fold it down pretty simple. Same thing on this side, press the button, electromechanical release, push down. In the rear you also have an underfloor compartment. This is really useful. I have kind of an emergency kit backpack that fits fully in there without a problem. A bunch of other items. There's a little divider between the main cavity and the ones on the side, so you can segregate your cargo as necessary. On this side, there's a little tray secured with a small net. Right now we have a J1772 adapter back there. Plus it has some cargo hooks here on the sides. In order to close this door, it's just a button here on the top. And it shuts. So to close these doors, you can just press this button once, move out of the way, and the door completely shuts. There's also another option to close these doors using the button actually on the door. It's a red light on it. Same function. Shuts automatically. I won't do a deep dive in the touchscreen. There's just so much to go through here. It's probably enough for like a separate video, but some of the things that are unique to the Model X are suspension tuning. So there's a lot of controls here. You can change the adaptive suspension to comfort, sport, or if you want to customize the various characteristics of the suspension, you can go to advanced. There's the option of just using the comfort setting when the car is in autopilot. You can also adjust the ride height here. So there's 5 settings. There's very high, high, medium, low, and very low. In terms of acceleration, now again, this is not the plaid version of the Model X. However, there are 3 different settings. There's chill, sport, and insane instead of plaid. There's even a drag strip mode here. And so you can see that drag strip mode does initiate peak performance conditioning of the vehicle. 3 different steering modes. There's comfort, standard, and sport. And this is one that's unique to the refresh Model S and X, is the auto turn signals. So press the signal light, and let's say you're switching lanes or making a left turn. If you have the auto cancel enabled, what it's going to do is it's going to predict when you've finished your left turn or left lane change, and it will automatically shut off the signal light without you having to depress the button again. It took some getting used to, letting the vehicle choose, but it actually does a pretty good job of deciding when to turn off the turn signal. The unique features of the Model X is the ability to tilt the display either towards the driver or towards the passenger. So right now it's aligned towards the center like in a Model 3 or Model Y, but if I wanted to tilt the screen towards the driver, I can click on display on the menu and click on the leftmost icon, and as you can see, the screen is now tilted towards the driver. Conversely, you can also tilt the display towards the passenger. In terms of the frunk, this is a pretty sizable frunk, so let's go take a look at that right now. So you can open it from the control dashboard. You can also open it from the app. Alright, so this is the front of the Model X. It's a pretty cavernous area of the vehicle. You can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. I will say that it is smaller than the previous generation Model X, and also the material that they use, instead of using a hard plastic, it's more of this felt material. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It doesn't seem like it would be as robust to carry like damp items or things that could damage the front, but we'll see how that holds up over the long term. One thing to note, since we're here in the front, is this depression right here is actually not a functional area. This used to be an intake for the HVAC system, I think, in the previous generation of the Model X, but here it's just a depressed area without any functional use. So it's just a plastic piece that extends from this end to this end. And unfortunately, when you need to close the frunk, at least from the factory, there's no way to close it automatically like you can in like the Rivian R1S. So you need to basically use two hands, equal weight on both sides of the hood, press down, and that's how you're able to close the frunk.
So that's about it for our initial thoughts on the first 400 miles on our Tesla Model X. I'm sure over the next few years we'll have a lot more to say about the vehicle, hopefully more positive than negative. I will say it's by far the most powerful, most refined vehicle that I've ever driven, and it also has the steepest learning curve in terms of the driving dynamics, the suspension tuning, driving with the yoke, but it's not something that's overly difficult or impossible to learn. And I can imagine this vehicle will just get better over time, just like our Tesla Model 3 did over the course of 4 years. So if you like this content, please think about subscribing and giving the video a like, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.